Okay, my name is Steve Rennie. I am the Ren Baron, and this is my Ren Baron Learning to Fly YouTube channel. I did a flight yesterday from Santa Monica to San Luis Obispo, and it was a fun little flight here. Unfortunately, when I looked at the stream on YouTube, I had not enabled somehow the audio for X-Plane and also the audio for Pilot Edge, which is the kind of ATC in a box for us flight simmer types here. So today I thought I would give it another go here and turn around and do the flight back to Santa Monica from San Luis Obispo. And I figured I would just do it from soup to nuts here, and I'll ask for your forgiveness up front. Clearly, I'm still a little bit rusty even on the piloting stuff here, or the simming stuff as well. So what I'm going to do then is we're going to get started. I'm going to go ahead and do everything that I would have done back in the plane here. So we're going to I'm putting down on my little flight info sheet some information here, KSBP, and I'm going to take you through all of this here in a second here. And let's start by going into the cockpit here. Okay, there we are. Let me do a quick check and make sure that we've got a stream happening here, and we do. Okay, great. If anybody is listening here today, concurrent viewers, if you could just give me in the chat box there, just give me a little heads up on, is the audio going to be okay? And if it isn't, I will fix that. Alrighty. So let's go back to X-Plane here and get started here. Okay, as we stand right this second, I don't have a flight plan in front of me. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that going here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my iPad up here on the left hand side. There's a couple of planning tools actually I use when I'm doing a flight, so I'll just show all of them to you, and you'll forgive me if I screw something up here. Here's all the planning tools when I'm doing a flight that I use. First off, and most important, is that iPad you see there on the left. In the middle you see what I call my flight info sheet, and on the right hand side is my takeoff briefing, and I'm going to show you how I use all of these here in a second. Okay, let's just go to the iPad here. All right, if you can see right here, you'll pardon all the sirens going on in the back room here. Be a fun flight today because we've got some precipitation in the area. I've already loaded in the starting and end point, which is, let's get rid of Papa 47 in the middle. I'll just show you something. So I would put in KSBP, which is San Luis Obispo, and Kilo Sierra Mike Oscar, which is Santa Monica. And to help me pick an IFR route, which looks like a good idea today, considering we're going to be flying through a lot of clouds, I just click on this little routes button off to the right-hand side. It'll give us a recommended flight path, right, or a flight plan. In this case, it's Santa Barbara Papa 47. Now, if you're not familiar with the Southern California area, you may not have ever flown what's called a tech route. And what that tech route is, let me show you something here. I'll show you over here. Okay, this is from our FAA book here, and these tech routes are pre-programmed flights here in the Southern California area and other high traffic areas where they kind of give you something that's already laid out. And here, if you look down here on the left, I've kind of circled it in green. It gives you a bunch of different options here. So for this particular one, it's for all flights from San Luis Obispo, Santa Maria, Vandenberg, Lompoc, and a couple other flights up in that Santa Barbara area, coming down to Santa Monica, which is Sierra Mike Oscar. So there's a couple tech routes here, Papa 47 and Papa 48. We're going to take the Papa 47 for right now. And if I want to see what the waypoints are for this one, I'll just click on that nav log button and it'll give me all the waypoints along the way. Okay, so that's step one in this process here, and it's a little bit different on the sim, and so I'm going to try to walk you through that best I can. So let's go over to, let's show you the website. Okay, that's Okay, let's go over to SimBrief. Okay, this is a great little app that is a flight planning tool powered by Jeppesen, the charts that is. And it's a way for us to take a flight plan and export it over into X-Planes so that we don't have to mess with anything. Okay, so I'm going to go in here, and this will be one of the few times I have to use my keyboard here. Oh, just messed that up. Let me get back here. Cancel. Let's go back. Okay, so we're going to depart from KSBP, Kilo Sierra Bravo Papa. That's San Luis Obispo. We're going to go to Kilo Sierra Mike Oscar, which is Santa Monica. Down here, we're going to use all the presets here. For the aircraft info, there's an airframe available. I've already set up Sierra 768 Foxtrot Sierra. And there is all the information that comes with it. And you'll see that it's recommended a route here, which is San Marcos, Victor 597, Ojai, Fern 7, arrival into Santa Monica. Now, when we call up ATC, they're going to give us the route they want, but this is a good starting point right now. And that may or may not match up with my route here. Let's see if it does. Or yes, it looks like it does here. Sicor 597. Okay, so we shall see how that plays out here. Anyway, what we'll do is we come through all this stuff here, and if we like what we see here, we're going to go ahead and click on this little button up here called Generate Flight. So it's building all the stuff I need here, briefing and so forth and so on, flight plan available. Now you'll notice down here, and here's a very, very, very cool feature. On my old sim, oh, I let it get away from me. Oh, no. All right, well, I believe I should have just clicked on that, and it would have saved it into a folder in X-Plane that allows me to load it in the plane here. But we'll come back and see if there's something in there anyway. Second thing that's really cool about this here is there's a chance to pre-file on a network. Now, if you've ever watched any of these simulator videos, you will see or hear what appears to be ATC folks talking to the simulator pilots. Well, that's a great service or a plug-in that we use on X-Plane. It's called Pilot Edge. So when we want to pre-file on a network, this little SimBrief gives us a chance to go click on Pilot Edge, and instead of having to go to Pilot Edge and load all this in, it'll just kind of pre-file it right here, and then takes me right over to the page here, which is great. Loads my route, loads all of that information here, and now all I have to do is click File Flight Plan, and the flight plan is filed successfully. Okay, so that is part one of this whole process here. So our cruising altitude is 9,000 feet here. Okay, so that's what we filed for, and now let's see what we're actually going to get. All right, so now we have a flight plan. So now what I want to do here is I want to go into my flight plan and start pulling some information that I'm going to use along the way on the flight. Back to the iPad again. There's a little button down here that looks like a little square with an arrow pointing up, or a line pointing up. I'm going to send this over to flights. Okay, and here's a great little section of ForeFlight that allows its place to gather all kinds of information here. So let's start with some information here at San Luis Obispo. We're going to start with putting in the ATIS. I'm going to get my frequencies here. 120.6 is our ATIS. 121.6 is ground. At San Luis Obispo, the tower frequency is 124.0, and I don't think there's no departure frequency there, so I'll just do all that confirming the flight plan with the folks on San Luis ground, I believe. Okay. All right, so that's the information for Santa Monica, or for back for Sierra. Hang on. For San Luis Obispo, let's get our takeoff information here. Okay, we're going to be taking off on runway 29. So let's click that here, and I'll put on some of this information down here in my takeoff briefing, okay, which is that little page you saw. Where's my takeoff briefing page? There's the takeoff briefing. So we're going to go to this page right here and get some information, okay? Our CAPS altitude, what's our field elevation here? At getting all this information here. Sorry, go back to info here. Our field elevation is 212 feet here. We're going to put that at the top of our takeoff briefing here. Our CAPS available is 600 above that, so that's going to be 812. 2,000 feet above is our best CAP, so that's 2212. Okay, so we have all that information there right now, so that'll be helpful for us on our takeoff. So let's now go back over that takeoff button here. We've got 6,000 feet of runway length, which I'm going to put in that little section right there. Let's see, our wind direction is going to be 300. It's showing here. Wind speed is 18 knots. Okay, so that's a little breezy again today. Our temperature here is going to be 14 degrees centigrade, and 2997 is our altimeter. So I'm putting all that information here on my flight info sheet here. Okay, more importantly, let's go back over here and let's go back one here. I think I got to go back one and put in some important information on weight and balance. Okay, we got one pilot, 183 pounds. That's me. That's pretty good. Our payload, our fuel policy, we've got max on board. Let's start it with max. All right, so now we've got max fuel listed in there. And so our ramp weight, 3,200 is our takeoff weight, so we're all good there. Okay, sky condition, we'll pick that up when we get our ATIS and all of that. So now I've got some information to get me off the ground here. Let's go back. Our departure here. All right, so that's our Santa Barbara Papa 47. It's all loaded in there, and we are looking good. So let's go get some information regarding Santa Monica. I'm going to go down there. This will go back on my flight info sheet. Where am I here? I'm losing track of where I am. This is what happens when you get a little rusty. Okay, so I'm putting in my frequencies for Santa Monica. 119.15 is going to be ground, or excuse me, ATIS. 120.1 is tower. 121.9 is our ground. Our field elevation in Santa Monica is 170 feet, which I'm going to put down there. Why is that important? We want to know what the pattern altitude is. We have to have a number to start with. Okay, so I think we have all that information that we need to get started here. So let's get rid of all that stuff for now. I think I'm done with that, but I could be wrong, folks. Yeah, all righty. So now let me just take a quick peek up here and go up to our live stream. Okay, we got 4 people watching here, so I want to thank you for joining me here today. And again, I'll ask for your forgiveness up front here. I might just screw something up here. All righty. Okay, let me take a little breather here, which if you're actually flying and you're new to flying, and I haven't flown in a plane myself in a couple of years, but I did about 1,300 hours in my Cirrus, so I feel pretty experienced in the Cirrus. So now here's, I'm going to show you a couple of things here, different on my simulator here. One of the trickiest parts of working with the sim is working through all the different views and so forth and so on. So I'm going to show you a little how I do this in the background. Let's see if I can get it up here. Nope, it's not going to work. Uh-oh, it's not quite doing what it should be. Let me show, hang on. Stream Deck, no, that's not it. Okay, well, it's not going to work just the way I want it. Why? Okay, let me show you something. Here's what it is. Okay, this little window you saw pop up here, it's called Stream Deck. It's a little USB controller made by Elgato. And what you can do is you can program all the different views and all the different things that I want to show you while I'm flying the plane on the simulator here. And it's a great way to kind of organize everything. So this is where if I press the planning tools button, you get to see all of the planning tools. If you want to see the Stream Deck again, I can show you that. If I go click on the home button here, you'll see all of the different things, buckets that I use to control it. I got my cockpit views right here. I've got cockpit commands right here, have to do with opening doors, toggling chocks, and this so forth. I've got my external views here, which all the cool views that I'll show you or try to show you along the way. I control all of those through right here. I've got a number of X-plane commands here that I can use, and so it makes it very easy to access all of these in English, which is important because when you're trying to do all this stuff and fly the plane, it can be a little overwhelming here. So okay, so let's get rid of that now. Let's go ahead and fly the plane here, and let's do that. Okay, so all right, so I'm going to go back to my little home button on my Elgato, and I have a section here called flight setups that I've done ahead of time. Well, let me just go and show you while we're at it. We're having some fun here. Stream Deck, there's the Stream Deck here. So now I'm going to show you this little button I have here called Flight Setups. And what this is, it's a great little tool again. If you have a simulator and you want to kind of work on your routine, it's a great way to kind of work through some of the checklists and kind of builds in some muscle memory for you here. So I'm going to go to flight setups here, and you'll see, notice in here I have a number of different ones. I've got flight planning, I've got pre-flight to engine start, departure, flight configs, and so forth. So anyway, what I'm going to show you today is the pre-flight cockpit sequence here. We're going to just assume that I've done a complete pre-flight on everything, and now I just want to get this baby started up. So I'm going to go click on the toggle keys here, and I'm going to get started. So now I got to actually get into it. Let me go back here. All right, so I'm going to get rid of, hang on one sec, a lot going on here. Okay, now we're clean. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my pre-flight cockpit sequence. Okay, so let's assume now that we've done all the work that we're supposed to do here on the pre-flight, and now we're going to go toggle our keys, and they're in the ignition, which is the best place to find them. One of the great assets, one of the selling points of this Cirrus is the airframe parachute. So let's go ahead and make sure that's working properly. There's where it is. We're going to get rid of the cover. We're going to get rid of the pin, and we're going to come back down here. The next thing we're going to do is do a little house cleaning here. On that flight info sheet, which I showed you previously, I'll show you again here in a second, is where I put a bunch of different information here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here and record our engine hobs. I'm going to come down to the glove box. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to zoom in here, and I'm going to start with that flight info sheet by putting 9.0 hours, which is our starting point on hobs. 5.1 is our starting point on the engine hours. We'll pick up our fuel once we get started here. Okay, let's zoom on out here. I'm going to put all of that information right here on my flight info sheet in that very top section here called flight info, duly noted. And now I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to clean that up, close the glove box, come back up, and now let's go ahead and start the plane here. Okay, let's go through the sequence here. Again, I have all this on a little setup here on my Elgato Stream Deck controller. So I'm going to go press the button. Brakes are holding, and they are. Let's go battery 2, battery 1, and strobe. Bat 2, bat 1, strobe. Click it back there. Now I want to check that flap light. If everything's working properly, that light should be green, and it is. The next thing I want to do is come down to the throttle. First, I'm going to click through those, enter on those, and a little glitch right there. Okay, I'm going to come back down to the throttle. I'm going to go mixture full and power full. Okay, Next thing I'm going to do, I waited for all those screens, that confirmed. Now I'm going to go down to that fuel pump again. And I'm going to go ahead and give this some high boost prime, about 4 seconds worth, to get a little fuel in the system there. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we're going to confirm up here on the engine page that we've got some fuel flow, which you should see right here. So let's give it 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4. Okay, I'm going to shut that off. Now we're going to come back down to the throttle quadrant. We're going to give it to about a 1/2 inch now. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a little bit of boost pump right here, 1/4 inch of boost pump, and then we're going to fire this baby up. So I'm going to get my ignition set. I'm going to hit that boost, 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, then hit it. All right, we got a nice clean start there. Don't want to gun that thing too much. Let's pull our power back to about 1000, 1100-ish. Let's go Alt 1, Alt 2 avionics. We're all set. Okay, and we reduced our power. And now let's go back to the pilot view. Okay, now we're ready to go. All right, so now we are ready to start flying. Okay, everybody with me so far? Kiwi Flyer, nice to see you back. Pilot Chip, hello again. There's my controller. Now, if you guys have controller questions, all you got to do is ask our friend Mr. Pilot Chip there, who works in the very, very busy and fun Southern California airspace locally here, which learning in Southern California, I didn't realize, Chip, how good that was for me, because once you kind of got comfortable with all the lunacy of LA, everything else is pretty simple here. Now my nav data is out of date. I should have updated that, but we'll be good enough to go today. Okay, so now a couple things here. Now I want to go ahead and load in some of these frequencies that I put in. Okay, so I'm going to come down to COM2, which is where I like to put my stuff. So I've already put in 120.6. Let me put in 121.6 for ground. We get those in there, and we're all set for 121.6. And tower, we're going to put tower up top here, 124. It's great having two radios because you can stay ahead of the ball game pretty good. While I have everybody's attention in there, can you hear me? Number one, that sounds like you can. Can you hear ATC, which we're going to check here right now because I'm going to get my ATIS. And are you hearing the engine, which I'm going to fire it up a little bit? Are we hearing everything pretty good there? If we are, just give me a little thumbs up in there. And we'll get going. Okay, so now I want to come down here and use my little. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I got everything loaded on COM2, so what I'm going to do is monitor COM2 by pushing that button and get our ATIS.
Advise on initial contact. You have information pop up. San Luis County Regional Information pop up. 2315 Zulu. Wind 300 degrees 17 knots, gust 25. Visibility more than 10 miles. Sky conditions: view at 2,600. View at 4,700. Temperature 14.7. Altimeter 2997. Arriving runways 2925. Departing runways 2922.
Okay, so we got our ATIS. Let's get back to our homepage here. Let's go back to our flight setup here. Okay, great. I didn't hear ATC yesterday. Did you just hear it right now? That was the ATIS through Pilot Edge. Let me make sure I have Pilot Edge loaded here. Oh, I don't have Pilot Edge loaded, so let's go ahead and connect Pilot Edge. All right, now I'm going to go through Pilot Edge here.
Visual approaches in
Okay, it's a woman now. Okay, now you hear the ATIS. Okay, great.
Advise on initial contact. You have information, Oscar.
Okay, now we got Oscar. Okay, she's on Oscar. Let's go and see what she's got.
San Luis County Regional Airport. ATIS information, Oscar. 2256 Zulu. Wind 290 at 18. Gust 25. Visibility 10. 3,500 scattered. Temperature 14. Dew point 7. Altimeter 299er7. Arriving and departing runway 29er. Visual approaches in use. Read back.
Okay, pretty much the same. So we got some very tasty wind coming down the barrel on 29, and so if we're going to get wind, better to have it coming right at us.
November
Okay.
8748, clear direct
So
call.
now I'm going to
Direct
call up
November 874.
San Luis Obispo ground and file and pick up our flight plan, which we filed on Pilot Edge. So let me get to 121.6. So I'm going to go down to COM 2. I'm going to push in 121.6 into the active. San Luis Obispo ground Sierra 768 Foxtrot Sierra in parking with Papa. I'd like to pick up my IFR flight plan to Kilo Sierra Mike Oscar Santa Monica. That was because I was on the wrong frequency there.
November
folks.
768 Foxtrot Sierra, San Luis ground. Small amendment to the routing. Clear to this Santa Monica Airport by the Crepe 3 departure. San Marcos transition. Victor 186. Darts. Direct. Climb and maintain 4,000. Expect 7,000. 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 124.15. Squawk 2647.
Okay, we're cleared to Santa Monica. On departure, we'll fly the Crepe 3 departure. Transition is San Marcos, then Victor 186, then Darts, then direct. 4,000 to start, 7,010, 124.15 on the departure, 2647 on the Squawk 8 Foxtrot Sierra.
8 Foxtrot Sierra, read back right.
All right, so now let's go ahead and start programming all this stuff in here, okay? We're going to start with putting in our transponder. So we're going to push the transponder button over here on the GTU 2647, and that is now in and displaying right here. So I'm going to check that off my list. I'm going to go up top to COM 1. Back to COM 1. I'm going to go up to COM 1. You see we have 124.15 already loaded right there, so I'm going to check that off the list. I'm going to now put in 4,000, which is our initial departure altitude. We're going to be 7,000 in 10 minutes, so I'm going to check that
Nice
off
tower,
the
Sierra
list.
79er, Kilo Whiskey, holding short to 16 right at Charlie.
The rest of this I got to just put into the flight plan now, okay?
Departure.
So the flight plan
700 Kilo Whiskey.
is going to show you
Tower,
an
runway
interesting little
16
trick
right, clear
here.
for takeoff, left
When-
crosswind departure approved.
We set up SimBrief and
16
loaded
right,
and
clear for
downloaded the
takeoff,
flight plan
left
over
crosswind
into
departure
our
approved, 79er Kilo Whiskey.
turn that down. Turned it into our to a little file that we could put in X-Plane. So right here, I can pull that flight plan up right here. It's not the same one we had, but let's see if we got a KSBP. There it is. There it is, right there. That's the one we filed. So that's the one that got loaded here, but that's not going to be what we're flying. So I'm going to go ahead and go menu, delete the flight plan, and put in the one that they just gave us, which is Kilo Sierra Bravo Papa. Then we got a procedure here. We're going to fly a departure here, which is the Crepe 3 departure. The transition is Morro Bay, or was it? Hang on, let's go look at the Crepe 3 departure here. We got a little something up here. All right, got a little issue up there. Let's go to our OBS views here. Let's throw our iPad up here for a second, and let's go look at the plates for the Crepe 3 departure. And the transition is going to be San Marcos. Okay, I got it. All right, so it's not listed here, so we're going to go clear that. We're going to clear that. We're going to come back to the flight plan. So KSBP, we're going to put in procedure, departure, Crepe 3. We're going to put in MQO for right now. is loaded. Okay, so Grape 3. Then we're going to put in the Grape 3 departure. You said the transition is going to be RZS. Okay, this is a little confusing, so I'm going to go and get rid of this here, clear it. Clear it, come on, it's not clearing. Alright, clear this one, boom. Clear this one, boom. And we're going to go RZS, enter, enter. And then we're going to go procedure. No, we don't want procedure, we want menu. Load an airway, which is going to be Victor 186. There's Victor 186. We're going to kick it out on darts. And then direct. Alright, so that's all good. We loaded that. Now, like I said, this is a little bit different because that's not the Crate 3 departure, but I could just have old stuff here. So there's KSBP. Okay, something's not right here. I've lost. Okay, I'm going to go clear this old flight plane out of here and start all over again. Menu, delete flight plane. Clear. Okay, we want KSBP. We want procedure, departure, Grape 3. I'm going to ask a question here if you don't know the answer. San Luis Obispo, ground 0768 Foxtrot Sierra. Question regarding the flight plan you gave me. Okay, let's go. San Luis Obispo, ground 8 Foxtrots here with the question.
We're 8 Foxtrots here, go ahead.
You gave me the Grape 3 departure with a transition of San Marcos. I'm looking at the plate. I don't see a transition for San Marcos.
8 Foxtrots here, yeah, you're correct. That's my mistake. It's the Grape 3 departure to Morro Bay, like Quebec Oscar, direct San Marcos, and the rest of your reback, the rest of your clearance remains the same.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. Okay. All right, folks. Well, there is a great lesson for us about why, if it doesn't sniff right, go ahead and ask the question rather than look like a freaking moron up there, and even worse, do something crazy and kill yourself. So there's our MQO. Now this all makes sense here. Now we want RZS, which is San Marcos. Then Victor 186, we'll click in here now. This is going to all make sense here. Victor 186 is right there. There's our darts. Load it. And there is Santa Monica Kilo Sierra Mike Oscar. All right, there's your first lesson here, sports fans. If you don't ask, you don't get. If you don't know, don't fake it. All right? Don't fake it. It could hurt somebody, including you. All right. Okay, so now let me make sure I have all this freaking program. Okay, we've got our flight plan, which we've got right here. Okay, we can see that. There's our flight plan. It's all looking good. All right, terrific.
Irvine Tower 79 Kilo Whiskey, is there a frequency change?
All right, see, there's our controller saying, see, people make mistakes. So don't let everybody go, oh, see, the controller's done. No, there's a lot of work going on there, and shit happens, and it just means that everybody's got to be on their toes. And but the main takeaway is, if you don't know, ask.
79 Kilo Whiskey.
Okay, so now I think I have it. Let me see if I'm ready to go and get this baby rolling here. Let me gather my thoughts here, folks. Sorry for taking so long.
Would you like me to also update you?
I've got everything. I got my backup picture. We got 2997. I think we're all set here. Okay, so now I can just ask for our clearance, or our taxi clearance here. All right, let's get back to my flight setup here. Flight config. All right. San Luis Obispo, ground 0768 Foxtrot Sierra, ready to taxi for 29.
768 Foxtrot Sierra, San Luis ground runway 29 or taxi via Alpha.
29, taxi via Alpha, 8 Foxtrot Sierra, thank you. All right, so now I'm going to go to my airport charts over here on the iPad. You can see it right here, and we'll just kind of use that as we go down here. And I'll try to do this without killing myself here. Okay, let's go through our checklist here real quick here. Let's get to the right one. Did all that. We started the engine. Forward taxiing and takeoff flaps are up. Radio avionics are set. Our cabin heat defrost is good. Our fuel selector is on the fullest tank here. It is now. Okay. All right. So that's all set now. Let us proceed. Next checklist will be our taxi parking brake is disengaged. And let's go ahead and get started here. All right, there we go. All right, we're taxiing here, folks. Okay, parking brakes disengaged. We got brakes. Okay, those are all good. HSI orientation is good. Now let's get back over here. Attitude gyro. Okay, it's not gunning too much. Okay, we're going to 29, which is over to the left here, so let's do that. Taxiway Alpha, as you can see here on our iPad. Stay on the line here. Okay, let's go. We'll be gunning it down. Let's get it down to about 1100 here. Okay, doors are latched and closed. Caps handle, we took care of all that. Our air conditioner is off, which you can see over there on the right. Fuel quantity is full, 88 gallons. Fuel pump is on. That's a check. Mixture is full. That's a check. Flaps, we're going to go flaps 1 here right now. Let's check that left wing. There's the flaps are down. That's good. Our transponder is set. Yeah, I actually know how to taxi. This is what happens when you're multitasking, flying and doing a cabin heat defrost is good. Brakes we've got. Power lever. We're going to hit 1700 when we get to the run up here. Okay, let's try to go straight here, Steve. Knucklehead. Okay. All right, let's go over there. Let's get it going. All right, try to stay on the center line there, Stevie boy. All right, are we at the end of the runway yet? We are at the end of the runway here, so I'm just going to do a quick run up here at the old short line. All right, so let's go ahead and put that parking brake. Okay, we're going to go to our engine page now. All right, we're going to spool her up to 1700 here, and then we're going to check our electrical and go through the whole process. Okay, we're coming up to 1700 here. That's pretty close here. Okay, so now what we're looking for is to check our electrical, which is right here. So we're going to go nav 1. Strobes are on. Landing light should push up all 1. It does. Ice will push it up a bit further. Pitot heat is on all 2, so you should see some good movement right there, and you do. Now we're going to go over and check our mags. We've got 1690 is our start. We'll go over our right mag, and we have a drop of, we'll call that 60 or 70, which is acceptable. We'll reset back to 1690. There we go. Our left mag, we got a drop. 140, that's pretty steep right there. That's something I checked with my mechanic, but our EGTs are rising, so that's good. Let's put our power back to 1000 here. Come back to our checklist. Okay,
we're 414 X-ray, contact
landing
SoCal
lights, let's get rid of
119.6.
POE, let's get rid of ice.
119 per
landing light voltage is 0, that's good. Navigation lights we don't need. Landing light we don't need. Magnetos we checked, they're within parameters, but something I would check, that 140 is just barely within the 150 parameter. Engine parameters good. Power lever is back to 1,000. That's good. Flight instruments, HISI
SoCal
check.
approach November 414 X-ray
Good.
9000.
Flight instruments good. Flight controls.
We're 414 X-ray, SoCal approach Montgomery, altimeter. 29903, advise we have kilo.
29903 and we just got kilo. 414 X-ray.
Let's go. You can see that
X-ray, expect visual approach, runway 28 right, unless you'd like
tail
something.
high. All right. That's
We can
too
expect
far
a visual
back.
for 28 right, 414 X-ray.
All right.
X-ray.
Everything's working on the flight control zone. Trim is set for takeoff. That is good. Autopilot we've checked. Okay. Normal takeoff. We know how to do that. So let's go up to our climb. We're doing the peak here, and then we're back. Alrighty here. Okay, so now I think we're going to go switch to COM 1, and we're going to be talking now to 124.0, which according to my flight info sheet is our tower frequency. And now let's go do a quick back to home here. Let's clean up the plane, get rid of that. Now we got to call up and get on out of here. We're flying the Grape 3 departure, so let's put that up here. Let's roll it back up. I forgot one very important thing here, our takeoff briefing. Okay, our field elevation 212, our caps is available 600 over, that's 812, 2000 over that is our best caps, that's 2212. We're flying down runway 29, we got an 18 knot wind in our face, we're clear, there's some scattered clouds ahead. We're on runway 29, we got 6,101 feet to go. Our cruising altitude is going to be 7,000. Okay. If we have an emergency on the runway, we're going to pull the power, apply the brakes, and the takeoff. If we have an engine failure at less than 812, we're going to pitch for 92, mixture cut off, fuel tanks off, ignition off, flaps is required. If we have an engine failure above 812, between and below 2212, we're going to deploy the airframe parachute. By pulling the red handle, we're going to mixture cut off, fuel selector off, and float down gently to the ground. That is our takeoff briefing. Let's call and get on out of here. All right. San Luis Obispo Tower, Sierra 768 Foxtrot Sierra, ready for departure. San Luis Obispo Tower, Sierra 768 Foxtrot Sierra, only short 29, ready for departure. We have the right frequency here. San Luis Obispo Tower, can you hear me? Alright, let's go disconnect and reconnect again. San Luis Obispo Tower, Sierra 768 Foxtrot Sierra, only short, runway 29, ready for departure. Alright, not good, I'm not hearing anything. San Luis Obispo Tower, how do you hear?
Great Foxtrot Sierra, loud and clear, how do you hear me?
Gotcha now, thank you. Okay, I'm at only short runway 29, ready for departure, 8 Foxtrot Sierra.
Great Foxtrot Sierra, runway 29 are clear for takeoff.
29 are clear for takeoff, 8 Foxtrot Sierra, thank you.
Might not be appropriate 79er Kilo Whiskey here, but I think I know that voice from the other service.
All right, let's give it a go here. All righty, we're ready. We're rolling. Let's do it.
All right. X-ray, fly heading.
Power's all the way in.
Visual approach.
140.
Speed's live. Let's start pulling it back here.
414, X-ray, X-ray.
All right, flaps up 90. Trim that baby up. Indicated airspeed 120. Okay, we're flying the Crate 3 departure here. Our caps available is at A12. There's A12 caps is available.
November 8 Foxtrot Sierra, contact departure.
Contacting departure 8 Foxtrot Sierra, thank you. San Luis Obispo departure Sierra 768 Foxtrot Sierra, 1,200 climbing 3,000 or 4,000, excuse me.
November 768 Foxtrot Sierra, San Luis, Santa Barbara departure. Radar contact, climb maintain 7,000.
Climb maintain 7,000 8 Foxtrot Sierra, thank you. Alright, so let's get our indicated airspeed in again, 7,000. Okay, got a little sideways there. Alright. Let's sync up our heading here now. Alright, so now we've got everything under control a little bit here.
For 4 X-ray, just want to maintain 5,000.
Stand maintain 5,000. 414, X-ray, X-ray.
So everything's smooth out of the box here. We love that. Love smooth. My first instructor, Ed Waters, said you want to be the most boring pilot in the world. And I concur. Let's get our... Now, normally in my Cirrus, I might have put on the autopilot by now, but I'm not, so I'm going into some clouds here. So I'm just focusing right now just on that PFD. I'm not even looking outside. In my old plane, when I was going through the clouds, I would literally pull down the sun visor, so I had no opportunity to look outside. I will kind of look down every once in a while and see if we've got some ground clearance there or some ground contact, but we don't right now, so we're just going to keep our eyes on the PFD, keep flying, chasing that pink line. That's IFR flying. Trust the instruments, don't look. Nothing good happens there. Okay, I'm going to take a few questions when I get her turned around and see where we're heading here.
Right, Foxtrot Sierra, turn left, heading 120, when able, clear to San Marcos, V1.
Left 120, Mark San Marcos, when able, 8 Foxtrot Sierra. Go to heading mode, 120. Keeper coming from 120. Let's go back to the flight plan. San Marcos, he said. So we'll go direct, enter, and then back to nav.
Hotel 79er Kilo Whiskey, I'd like to climb to 3,000.
For 9er Kilo
Right
Whiskey,
there,
Roger,
7.
thank
So
you.
now I'm
VFR
going to
altitude
put it on
restriction.
autopilot so it'll capture the
Roger,
altitude.
climb up to 3,000.
And now I can take a little bit of a breather here. Got it off to a nice start here. Look out to the right here. See the belly cam here. We got, okay, so there's that beautiful Pacific Ocean here. Okay, so here's a classic kind of light IFR-ish day, I would call this, where there's some clouds. You get pretty breezy getting through there. Okay, so now let's go to our checklist. Don't do this here. Okay, climb, we did all that stuff here. That was all good. Now we want to cruise altitude. Oxygen is not required. Cruise altitude is established. So now I'm going to pull it back to 30.5 here. Ish. There it is. Not quite there. There we go. We got our little pink or green line down there. Yeah, a little bit more. Kind of touchy, this throttle in the sim here. Okay, come on back, baby. There. I won't quite do it. Okay, so now I'm going to pull this back. I know from my experience, if I get this thing back to about 16.1-ish, if I get I'll get 75%, 16.3-ish, and there is 16.4, there's 16.3, close enough. We got more work here. Mixture is good, engine parameters, you got green, everything is good. Let's flip over to our right tank here now. The flow balance is good, and now let's go back to the map. Okay, we got her set at 7,000. We got good speed,
contact SoCal
and we're looking good there, sports fans. So let's go and do one of those sexy little views here while I take some questions. Okay, let's see. Pilot Chip's with us here.
Approach, November 414, X-ray, level of 5,000, vector
Lower gain volume a bit. Okay,
right.
So a little less.
414 X-ray, SoCal approach, turn
Okay,
right,
I'm gonna lower that a little bit. It'll be a little lag here, so you tell me.
090. I'm sorry, did you say right 090?
Right turn heading 190.
All right, Chip, I lowered that a couple dBs. You'll let me know how that feels. I'm looking through the comments here, Chip. Engine volume's been a lot. Okay, I lowered it. You'll let me know how that sounds. I like your idea. You can set the weather to full IFR from final approach fixed to minimums. Yes, you can, and it's one of the things I do. And you know what? Now that I've started to do more of these videos, engine is still pretty loud. Okay, so help me out here, Chip. I'm going to lower it down to minus 22 decibels. So let me know how that sounds.
November 4 accurate X-ray, turn right, heading 270, report the airport in sight.
Right 270 on roll advise 9, see the airport.
Okay, we're back and ready to go. Okay, in the interest of taking care of some business ahead of time, all right, we've talked about that before. Frequencies, I like to get all my frequency work done ahead of time. So I'm going to go down to COM2, I'm going to put in 11915, which is our ATIS for Santa Monica. There it is. Flip that over to active. I'm going to put in 120.1, which is going to be our tower frequency.
Clear for the visual, 2-8 right, 414 X-ray, right.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here to the GCU so you can see what I'm doing here. What I like to do, once I have that ATIS set, I don't know if you can see it here with the glare, I just go ahead and put COM2 to monitor, right? And the reason I do that is because now it's kind of set and forget, but at some point when we get within the ATIS distance for Santa Monica, it'll start to crackle and remind me to get our ATIS here. So it's a little fix to keep me square and make sure that I'm doing the right things here. Okay, so now let's go and show you my OBS view iPad. Okay, you can see here on the iPad that I'm not following the pink line, or so it would appear. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go down to RZS, which is right there, and I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to go direct to, and then I'm going to get rid of that. Let's get rid of the map altogether. Oops, hang on. Alright, so now you'll see my pink line is synced up on both of these, which is, let me get rid of that decluttered line, okay. And so now we've got, let's get this over here. Okay, there you go. So now our pink lines are synced up, and that's good. So now, looking ahead here a bit, looks like we're going to be going through some clouds here again. Okay, I can see them ahead, but it looks like I'm above them, which is good. It'll be scenic, but not too dramatic. Let's get rid of these other. Actually, that's our airspace that we've got to go through. But we're looking good right now. So this is that fun part of the flight where there's not much going on, not much change. Engine is still pretty loud, pilot chip says. All right, I'm going to tip it down. Maybe what I need to do.
748, set up out of discretion, maintain 14,000.
Here's what I'm going to do, Chip. I'm going to take a little bit different approach here. I'm going to bump
4 X-ray, contact Montgomery Tower.
Over the
bump
tower.
ATC up a little bit and bump me up a little bit and see if that helps a little bit.
Montgomery Tower, November 414 X-ray on the final for visual 26 right.
414 X-ray, Montgomery Tower, runway 28 right, clear to land.
Clear to land, 26 right. 414 X-ray, X-ray.
Alrighty, coasting along here. Alright, so we've got 7 viewers here today. Alright, good. Got a good connection. I'm looking at my live stream information from show you.
Kilo Whiskey at Delta 4 Camarillo.
700 Kilo Whiskey, roger that.
Alright, coasting along here pretty good. Now let's just go get rid of that. Let's go cockpit web, not getting it. Alright. There we go. Alright, that's the screen that I was looking at right here, which you can see. And I'm going to get rid of it now. And go back to our regular old pilot edge view here. Let's go clean on all those. Back to pilot. Alright, that's how I'm controlling. You've seen all my tricks behind the wizard's curtain here with the Stream Deck Elgato. Makes it, it's a great little USB controller here. You can program each of the buttons for various views and so forth, which is what I do here, and it makes things much easier here when you're just looking around. So I'll just give you a look over. There's the back seat. We're going to go back seat. There's the back seat view. There's what it looks like out the passenger's window, the very roomy back seat in the Cirrus. There's what it looks out the passenger back view here. I got all kinds of views here. If I want to look at the fuse panel, I can go look at the fuse panel. If I want to look at the glove compartment, if I want to look for the hammer in there, I can open that up. The engine hobs, I can get all that stuff. But somebody wants to see my registration, there it is. Pretty slick actually, and all of those views I put in there. OAT, outside air temperature is -1. It looks like. Engine is still pretty loud. All right, well I'm afraid if I go much slower than that, I won't be able to hear
100 Kilo Whiskey, contact point Magoo approach,
Here.
124.7.
So it makes believe we're really in there.
124.779
Here, I'm going to do something dramatic here at Pilot Chip. I'm going to take this way down, and you tell me if we lose it altogether. All right, that's -40 decibels. which is way low.
700 Kilo Whiskey, point to approach.
So you let me know how that sounds.
904.
How does ATC sound? ATC is good. Okay, so that's good. And the engine, I've got it way down here on my soundboard here on engine. It's still loud. All right, well, you know what? That I'm not sure what that is, to be honest, then. Except that it's just loud. Okay, so is it? Can you hear me in the ATC over the engine?
And taxi to parking via hotel.
Parking via hotel across 285.
Well, I'll listen to it in the increase mic. Okay, my mic's up as far as it's going to go without tweaking a little bit. So,
contact SoCal approach.
TKS before entering the clouds. Actually, that's a great comment there, Mark the Man. And a lesson I've learned the hard way. I'm above these clouds right now, okay? But if I thought for a minute that I would actually be going through these clouds, I would actually hit the TKS just to get it started, just to get a little wipe going across there. But I'm pretty sure I'm above these clouds here at 7,000 feet, but it appears like I'm going to be getting into them. Let's just take a look at the hood cam. Yeah, as you can see right here, I'm above them. Those ones out further in the distance on the right, maybe not, but I think I'm above those as well. So, and these are pretty wispy clouds right here. So this wouldn't scare me a lot, but it's a good point. And when you have fecal fluid, it's there to be used. And I was pretty liberal with wiping those wings. With the fecal.
Well, approach number 8748, we're going to be Quebec Express, vector for the Alice, 26 left.
Alright, so I'm going to give us one of those little sexy views here. I love the wingman.
Number 8748, Roger, you can plan on that. And for now, descend and maintain 10,000.
10,000, number 8748.
November 7th, 8 Foxtrot Sierra, contact SoCal approach, correction, Santa Barbara approach 120.55.
12055, 8 Foxtrot Sierra. Okay, we're going to go 12055. Let's come up close so you can see what I'm doing here. We're going to go 12055, Santa Barbara approach. Santa Barbara approach, Sierra 768, Foxtrot Sierra level 7,000.
November 768, Foxtrot Sierra, Santa Barbara approach, altimeter
299er 48, Foxtrot Sierra, thank you. And change that on my backup instrument as well. Yeah, those clouds seem to have disappeared there, Mark the Man.
November 768, correction, November 8748, fly heading 180, descend to maintain 8,000.
180, 8,000,
Okay, so now I'm going to do another little bit of planning ahead, and this is a great Cirrus feature that I'm happy that they've managed to put into the new flight model here. Coop, thank you very much. That's Cooper Lecomte, the incomparable Cooper Lecomte, the man who designed all the avionics here for this wonderful flight model. Now you can see here right now I'm cheating ahead, and this is called selected waypoint weather, which is what you get in the real Cirrus Polaris avionics here. And so right now I'm getting a chance to sneak ahead of the game here. We've got winds 280, 290, 12 knots, a little bit off the right when we land. There's a few clouds at 2,900, 293 on the altimeter. So have a few clouds there to come through as we get in the neighborhood there. Right, there's our 75%, okay.
For 79er Kilo Whiskey, Camarillo Tower, make straight in, runway 26, clear to land.
Great, runway 26, clear to land.
All right, so kind of the boring part of the flight here right now. So we know we're going to be flying. There's really only one IFR route into Santa Monica. That's for RNAV for 21. It's rare that you would land on runway 3. I think in all the time I flew out of Santa Monica, I might have landed on runway 3 half a dozen times. I'm looking out the window here in my office at home here, and I see that it is actually having a little bit of rain, not much conviction here. All right, Chip, nice having you around here. Look forward to seeing you again. Thanks for joining me, and I'm glad I had to do a redo here because everything looked great last night, but you didn't have any sound, which was kind of a drag. So I apologize for that. There's our view off to the right.
Reduced speed, 210 knots, then descend to maintain 5,000.
Now, normally I probably would have been, I would have probably been flying a little bit.
Right, and just verify the speed. Do not
probably would have been flying a little bit higher than 7.
Oh, it's actually 200 knots.
If any of you guys are Dodger fans, I don't imagine everybody here is from Southern California, but hey, how about those freaking Dodgers, huh? And Shohei Ohtani, is he a unicorn or what? It was bobblehead night if you're not a Dodger fan at a Dodger Stadium, and so it was very appropriate, very showbiz. Then Ohtani comes up in the ninth inning with a chance to win the game and takes an outside fastball at probably 95, 96 miles an hour and just flicks it over the center field fence. I was talking with one of my golfing buddies this morning, and we were contemplating what Ohtani would look like if he was a golfer, and we reckoned that with the speed, the bat speed he shows, and the bat discipline he shows as a baseball player, were he to take that same approach with a golf swing, he'd probably hit the ball 400 freaking yards. For real. Be pretty scary.
November 8748, turn right heading 230, descend to maintain 4,000.
230, 4,000, average number.
it's me and one other guy here.
Runway 26 left. Correct.
So it's like flying solo, which is fine.
South supervisor car left, 26 left, number 8 separate.
Go check our nearest airports here.
Cargo towers,
Giza.
Kilo Whiskey, clear up to 6, Bravo, request taxi to Park.
9 Kilo Whiskey, taxi to Park via Bravo Foxtrot Cadet.
There's Giza behind me.
Taxi, Bravo, Foxtrot, thank you, have a good day.
Everything's looking good. All the instruments are looking good. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to our flight plan and let's load this approach for Santa Monica. We're going to load the RNAV to GPS. Darts is our intersection there, our minimums. It's going to be 440. Put that in there, and now that is loaded. One last thing to do once we get a little closer.
November 8748, contact Ontario Tower 120.6.
1206, number 8 separate. Alright, tower number 8748, Alice 26 left.
We got to find a way to get some music into this.
November 8748, Ontario Tower
the
126
flight here.
left. Clear to land.
Bill land 26 left, number 8 separate.
Alright, we're making that turn down to Victor 186. Heading over the top of these mountains here. There we go. Rocking a little bit of AC/DC. Alright, I better turn that off. I'll get flagged. Alright, there's a little AC/DC. We'll see if we can hear that in there. Alright, this is when, you know, it's never boring flying, but when they say that most of the action happens in the first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes, it's true, because that's when you're getting up to altitude, you're flying a departure procedure or a specific route like we did today. And ditto, when you're coming in at the end of the flight, you're either going to come in straight VFR, or on a day like today in LA, you would probably be flying IFR for real into Santa Monica Airport. And that's where all the action's happening here. But you get what you get, and you can't just get there in a second, so you got to be patient. All right, here we are with a look out the front window here, looking good. Beautiful view. We're right under all these clouds. This is when just the joy of flying around is so nice.
November 8748, taxi via Sierra to parking, watch your ground.
Sierra to parking, watch your ground, over 874. Cameo ground at Sierra 204 Sierra, transient with Echo, link pick up an IFR to Santa Monica.
November 2044 Sierra, camera ground, cleared to Santa Monica Airport. On departure, turn right, heading 275.
The XM radio and the SIM work. It worked in my old plane, that's for sure. I beat the hell out of that. And hooking up the iPad. I'll find a way to get some music in there, but of course then you got to deal with YouTube flagging your videos for infringing on copyrights, and as a former music business professional, I would prefer not to be pimping some artists out of their royalties here, so I'll play ball. Mark the Man, where do you fly out of? It's just you and me, Mark. Put you in this, in the passenger seat there, co-pilot. Your plane. Let's see if I can put you, let's do this. See if this is going to work. Oh, there we are. There you are, fellas. Alright, let's see what else. Did I miss anything else in the chat room here? Alright, I've got my dogs waiting to get in. Alright, Jay, come on. Come in the cockpit or the dog pit. Oh, they're leaving the dog pit. Alrighty, both my dogs have been up in the plane with me back in the day. Our little guy, Otis, had his one and only flight. Actually, no, he had two flights. When he was a little puppy, we were bringing him back. See, there's my reminder of the ATIS for Santa Monica. A great little trick again, load the ATIS frequency, monitor COM2, and you'll be reminded when it comes on. So we'll just get rid of it for a second here. What I will do is go back to the flight plan here and cheat again. 290 and 12 it looks like. If it wins, 29903 is going to be our altimeter. There's our turn. Not quite ready. Not able to pick it up just yet. I didn't get it again. We'll just wait about 5 minutes. I'm going to put a little timer on my Siri. Set timer for 5 minutes. Great tool as well. The Apple Watch I use all the time here.
November 768 Foxtrot Sierra, contact point review approach 124.7.
24/7, 8 Foxtrot Sierra, thank you. Okay, let's go up top here. We got 24, let's go 7. Let's go so you can see what I'm doing here. 24/7. Approach Sierra 768 Foxtrot Sierra, level 7,000.
November 768 Foxtrot Sierra, appointment approach Camarillo, altimeter 29904.
29904, 8 Foxtrot Sierra, thank you. Oh, hey Justin, how you doing? All right, Mark, used to be Santa Monica, now it's Camarillo. Love Camarillo. Love that Waypoint Cafe. Quite possibly the greatest, thickest chocolate shakes with the totally indulgent chocolate on the side. Love that place. My wife and I used to go there all the time for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Well, my wife didn't do breakfast, but I did. Justin H. Enjoy watching the flight. SR-20, my favorite to fly in MSFS. You know, it's funny, Justin. I haven't done it recently because I'm just getting back to flying the sim again, which is it's the next best thing to actually flying a Cirrus without the without the bill. And when I flew Microsoft Flight Sim, it didn't have the same accuracy as the X-Plane 11 and 12. The graphics were tremendous, right? It was like the pretty girl that wasn't much fun to talk to, if you know what I mean. And so the X-Plane 11 I find to be, or X-Plane 12 I find to be terrific. And the flight model that I'm using here, which is from the Torque Sim Aviation SR-22, I just think it's very, very accurate to the real plane. Things like setting the fuel flow to 16.2, 16.3, getting you 75%. Little things like that make me feel like I'm back in my own plane. Are what I love about it. While I'm back, and then we flip my tank over to let's go over to our fullest tank here. Let's get back to X-Plane first though. Back here. All right. Back up top. And so it just never quite worked for me. I see you live in Mara Vista. Okay, great. So probably flown over your house, I'm sure. Are you a pilot in the real world, Mark, or are you a simmer? I should say just a simmer, because now I'm just a simmer.
November 8 Foxtrot Sierra, clear direct to Van Nuys.
Clear direct Van Nuys, 8 Foxtrot Sierra, thank you. Okay, so let's go Van Nuys. Direct, enter. And now we turn into Van Nuys. All right, great. And now I'm going to do the same on my flight plan here. I'm going to go VNY. Let me show you what I'm doing here. OBS, let's get clean. Put the iPad up here. Oops, that's not what I want. I want the iPad. Uh-oh. Oh, did I lose my iPad? This is the little software I connect, and there we are back in action here. Let's get rid of that now. There we are, that's what I want. And let's see if we got our, okay, there we go, we're back in action here. Justin. All right. Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. When I first started flying, I tried putting together a sim, which was pretty decent, but it wasn't anything like this Cirrus Cockpit thing that I got right now, and nothing like the new ones that Real Sim Gear is knocking out for the Vision Jet and the new G7. Just spectacular. But more importantly, they're so good that I'm only half kidding around with some of my friends that I could literally teach them how to fly a Cirrus if they wanted to come and spend the time here at my office. But it's not cheap, but it's cheaper than a Cirrus.
Murray 8 Foxtrot Sierra, contact SoCal approach 134.2.
3428 Foxtrot Sierra, thank you. 3420, okay, we're getting closer now, so I should pick up my ATIS here in a second. 34.2. SoCal approach 0768 Foxtrot Sierra, level 7000.
768 Foxtrot Sierra, SoCal approach. Charlie's current at Santa Monica, expect visual approach runway 21 unless you want.
I got Charlie, I'll take the RNAV for 21, please.
230 at 13.
Right, Foxtrot Sierra, roger, expect that.
I'll expect that, thank you.
Temperature 15, dew point 8, altimeter 29903, arriving and departing runway 21. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on the initial contact that you have information, Charlie.
There's Charlie, I didn't get the wind, so we get
Santa Monica Municipal Airport, ATIS information, Charlie. 2351 Zulu, wind 230 at 13, gust 19er, visibility 10, sky condition, clear, temperature 15, dew point 8, altimeter 29903, arriving and departing runway 21, visual approaches in use. Read back all runway assignments and hold.
Okay, so we got it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to COM2, I'm going to flip the tower in there, and then we're going to put 121.9 for ground. So we're all set when we get there. We're going to see when he's going to start getting us down a little bit. There we go, Van Nuys. We want to go direct to Van Nuys. Okay, so now we're all set up there, and we're looking good. Okay, so our approach is all set there from Santa Monica.
County ground, Sierra 204 Sierra, transient with Echo Connect. 2044 Sierra, camera ground, runway 26, taxi with Foxtrot Alpha. 26 Alpha, Foxtrot Alpha, 4 Sierra.
Yeah, Justin, the rental, it's crazy. The Cirrus is, it's a fun plane. I used to describe it as a Tesla with wings, and I've been a long time Tesla owner. And I was quite proud of that for a very long time, because I thought, somewhat mistakenly, that the plane said something about your attitude about the future and so forth, but I think I was wrong about that. Anyway, I'll just say now it's like a Mercedes with wings. Very high tech, very sleek, very sexy, but not cheap. Alright, I'm going to get rid of that iPad for right now and just start getting our checklist together here. Our descent checklist, and oxygen is not required. Our altimeter is set so far. Cabin heat defrost is now off. We're on our left fullest tank here right now. Hold on to the rest of it there for a second. Now, once we get to Van Nuys, I'd like to be at 5,000 at Van Nuys. charts here. Got the IFR chart here. We're now off of Victor 186, and 6,000 would have been the altitude in there, and he's got me at 7. So I'm going to ping him and see if perhaps we're getting lower. Now we got some clouds in front of us here. Approach 0768 Foxtrot Sierra, level at 7,000. You're going to be getting me lower for Van Nuys.
For 8 Foxtrot Sierra, yeah, I can start you down now, just to maintain 5,000.
Send maintain 5,000, 8 Foxtrot Sierra, thank you. There's 5, let's go vertical speed down about 700, and I'm going to pull just a little bit of power. Back to about 50%-ish.
Alpha, IFR departure.
I'm going to keep our speed from getting away from this, because once we get in this little area here, we got to, the key to making a smooth approach to Santa Monica is getting your speed under control. Now our outside air temperature is 0.
November 8 Foxtrot Sierra after Van Nuys, flight heading 090.
090 after Van Nuys, 8 Foxtrot Sierra. Okay, no contact anywhere. Nothing on the right, nothing on the left. We are all the way in on these clouds. Speed's good. Coming up on Van Nuys where we want to go 090 at Van Nuys. Speed's decent. There. I keep pulling a little bit more power here. Oh, hey,
November 44 Sierra, contact departure.
Hey, Mark, man.
Sure, 44 Sierra.
I said hi on the radio at Santa Monica. Great. Flying to Vegas was always fun.
Departure 0204.
I used to just land at Henderson there, but it was a fun flight always. I took my kids up there. My kids are in the music business as well.
November 2044.
Had gigs up there to take care of, so it was always fun to be in the corporate pilot for the Rennie family. They really enjoyed that. Took them to a bunch of different gigs, and it was always fun flying with them and their buddies. They all felt like rock stars, and I kind of did too, to be honest.
November 44 Sierra, turn right direct to Van Nuys.
Okay, we're coming up on Van Nuys, then I gotta go to heading. Let's go switch to 90 on the heading. Should put us right on darts, I believe. Yeah, I'm not quite on it.
I got my clearance, Seneca 4406 Foxtrot to Crown A with information Lima. I'd like to get my IFR to Fullerton.
November 44 4460, correction 4406 Foxtrot. Montgomery ground, clear to Fullerton Airport. On departure, turn right, heading, correction on departure, fly heading 280. Radar vectors, Oceanside VOR, and then as filed. Maintain 3000, expect 6000, 10 minutes after departure.
Okay, we're going to go to heading mode here.
119.6, 15276.
I think what he's going to do is give me vectors to final.
Clear to the Fullerton Airport on departure, fly heading 280, radar vectors to Oceanside, then as filed, 3000, 6000, and 10 minutes, 119.6 and 5276 for November 4406 Foxtrot.
November 06 Foxtrot, read back correct.
Alright, there's our turn, so now we're going to go into heading mode here. On 9-0. Okay. Just putting us right on darts. That the active leg here, darts to movie. We're going to put GPS in backup here, which in effect, okay, let's go put that, that should go right there, and there it is. So now when we hit that, it's going to turn us on to the final approach course. Activate vector to final, or activate the approach here. Okay, so now we're at a good speed here though. A little outside of dart, so he's going to turn me in there. Keep me on. All right, good.
Montgomery ground, November 4406 Foxtrot to Crown Air with Lima, ready for taxi.
4406 Foxtrot, Montgomery ground, runway 28 right. Taxi.
This is good speed coming in here. Okay, let's get our checklist, our descent checklist. Power's good.
Foxtrot Sierra, traffic 12 o'clock, 2 miles opposite direction, type unknown, altitude gates 5,500. Unverified, should be no factor.
Looking for traffic, 8 Foxtrot Sierra.
Right, Foxtrot Sierra, turn 5 degrees left.
5 left, 8 Foxtrot Sierra. Saw him passing by, we're good. 8 Foxtrot Sierra.
Roger.
Back on 90 now, or just stay on 85?
Negative, the 085 heading.
085 it is, 85 that's right.
We're 2044 Sierra, contact SoCal approach 134.2. 34.2, well. SoCal approach 020 5000.
Okay, so we got our everything set here.
November 2044 Sierra, SoCal approach. Hello, advise when you have information. Charlie at Santa Monica, and approach request if you have one. We'll be right back with information from Santa Monica and a request. 768 Foxtrot Sierra, turn right, direct darts, cross darts at 4,300, cleared RNAV runway 21 approach.
Direct darts at 4,300, clear for the RNAV approach, 8 Foxtrot Sierra. got good speed coming on down here.
Approach 204 with Zero. We have Charlie at Santa Monica at frequency for NAM 21 approach. For 440, roger. After Santa Monica, fly heading 085.
Okay, we're going to right turn to 219 here.
Roger, after Van Nuys, 085. I'm sorry, that's what I meant. After Van Nuys, fly heading 085 vectors for the RNAV. Roger, 085 after Van Nuys, full zero.
Alright, so we're on track here. Now we got to get the movie at 3,000 there. Notch flaps in here in a second. And back on the path there. There we go.
Montgomery Tower, November 4406 Foxtrot, holding short at 28 right, ready for takeoff, IFR.
November 4406 Foxtrot, Montgomery Tower, runway 28 right, clear for takeoff.
Runway 28 right, clear for takeoff, November 4406 Foxtrot.
November 768 Foxtrot, Sierra, contact Santa Monica Tower.
Contact San Monica Tower, 8 Foxtrot Sierra, thank you. Okay, down here, let's give it a go. Come on. Santa Monica Tower, Sierra 768 Foxtrot Sierra, inbound RNAV 21 with Charlie.
November 768 Foxtrot, Sierra, Santa Monica Tower, runway 21, cleared to land.
Clear for landing, 218 Foxtrot Sierra, thank you. Alright, mixture full. Okay, we're on the glide path, we're looking good. There's the glide path, we're right on the pink line, everything is stable, we're at 100 knots, close to 40%, which is where we should be. That's pretty much textbook Cirrus numbers there. Checklist. Done.
406 Foxtrot, contact SoCal departure.
Over to departure, 06 Foxtrot. SoCal departure, November 4406 Foxtrot, 3000, heading 280.
Focus all the way. It's still on. Mixture's full.
November 4406 Foxtrot, SoCal departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 6000.
Okay.
Maintain 6000, 06 Foxtrot.
Let's get ground southwest, 2648, spot 11, taxi with November.
There There's Hillcrest Country Club down there on the left of my nose, and the
26
one
right,
a
taxi
little bit
Bravo 5
on the
Bravo.
other side of the building is Rancho
26 right,
Park.
taxi Bravo 5 Bravo, Southwest 2648.
Okay, Santa Monica in sight. Let's go to our plates. Let's go to Santa Monica, the airport. We want to get out on Bravo at Hotel. Okay, looking good. Some power here. Okay, we're over the freeway here, so we're going to give it that last notch of flaps with that nose down. She wants to jump up and give it the flaps. Got 30% power, that's good. Yeah, let's take her off pilot now.
Where's 06 Foxtrot, go direct Oceanside?
Clear direct to Oceanside, 06 Foxtrot.
Alrighty, got her on the runway there. Flaps up.
Ray Foxtrot here, taxi to parking via Alpha, this frequency.
Taxi parking with you on Alpha 8 Foxtrot, so thank you. Okay, let's get her trimmed up. Alright, like the nice puddling effect there after a brief little rainstorm, which is pretty realistic because we just had a little drizzle. Alright, let me squeeze in here behind all these boys. Alright, let's pull that power back here. Let's turn the fuel pump off. Let's cycle that engine. Got her back again. And now let's turn off, get rid of our mixture. And we are done. Alright, let's get rid of our pitot heat here. So landing lights, our final fuel was 71 gallons. Okay. All right, let's get our ignition. Let's get rid of our. Let's go to our little shutdown sequence here. Engine shutdown. We did caps restore. Okay, so let's go get rid of our caps. We're going to put the cover pin back in, cover back on. We're going to record our engine hobs here. Let's open that glove box. Let's zoom in. We've got 10.5. Is our ending hobs. Our ending hours is 6.2. Our ending fuel was 71, started with 88, so that's 17 gallons. That's 1.1 hours of engine time, 1.5 of hobs time there. We're going to put all of that stuff on our little sheet right there, which I just did. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to go zoom out, close that glove box back up top here. We're going to get our keys and put them right where they belong here. And we're going to disable pilot edge. And that is it, sports fans. Disconnect. All right. Let's go and end with a nice, sexy little view here. The wingman. I love that wingman. All right. My name is Steve Rennie. I am the Ren Baron. This is my Ren Baron Learning to Fly YouTube channel. It's been a pleasure flying with you today, and hope we can do it again soon, sometime. All righty. Thanks for joining me here today.